I am here for the first time for the Vyasa Puja ceremony of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Somebody gave me a book, I think it was Sri Guru Karuna Sindhu, I think there was a book, where I saw the photos of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Maharaj in the very early days of his Krishna consciousness when he met Srila Prabhupada. So I was very deeply inspired by his life, and during my 25 years of stay in Pune, he has been my authority and role model manager and GBC, and it has been always my aspiration to be here during this occasion, and fortunately I could make it this time. So I'll read a few more sentences and we'll discuss. On RadheShyam, Srila Prabhupada laid the cornerstone for a large Gurukula building adjacent to the Krishna Balram Mandir. He said that when it was built, the devotees should accommodate 500 students there from all over the world. Through the gorgeous temple, the guest house, and soon the Gurukula, Srila Prabhupada intended to draw as many people as possible to the shelter of Krishna in Vrindavan. For this end, he was willing to sacrifice everything, even his peaceful writing. And for this end, he also demanded his disciples to sacrifice. See, Srila Prabhupada, following in the footsteps of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, had a desire that the Gurukula building and Krishna Balram Mandir should accommodate hundreds of students there from all over the world. You will see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took a detour. Instead of going to Vrindavan, he went to Ramkeli. And there he recruited two very intelligent students. You all know, Rup Sanatan, isn't it? Who were actually ministers under Nawabuddin Shah. Although they were born in Saraswat Brahmin families, they were actually forced by circumstances to work under the Amlecha king. Similarly, modern day engineering and medical students are working under Amlecha leaders. Serving some IT company in America. So if we can recruit them into Prabhupada's movement, then we would be ideal followers of Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada. So, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very intelligent in terms of bringing the 6 Goswamis together in Vrindavan. He went to Srirangam. There he met Gopal Krishna Goswami, who was a small boy. He told him, your parents are pure devotees. So you serve them when they go back to Godhead. Then you come and join me, he said. Similarly, he met Tapan Mishra's son, Raghunath Bhatta. He told him, remain with your father who is a pure devotee, but don't marry. Come back and join me, he said. Similarly, Mahaprabhu brought Rup Sanatan also. So, after making this band of 6 Goswamis, he gave them an instruction, which exactly our Srila Prabhupada and Srila Prabhupada's disciple as well as Gopal Krishna Maharaj, we can see faithfully in the line they have followed the same instruction. For example, 4 instructions were given, as you all know. Identify the holy places in Vrindavan, erect temples, install the deities and worship, and print and publish books and distribute, and train people in Krishna consciousness. Same thing Srila Prabhupada did. Prabhupada excavated holy places not in Vrindavan but in America. Here we have Vrindavan, there Prabhupada made Vrindavan. Here we have Jagannath Puri, in San Francisco Prabhupada made. So even in an unholy place where cows are being killed in millions, Prabhupada excavated holy places. You can see that. And Prabhupada established deities, he published books, and he personally distributed books, reached out to so many people, and established Krishna in the hearts of millions of people worldwide. Following in footsteps of Srila Prabhupada, Paramapuja Gopal Krishna Maharaj also, Prabhupada told him actually, when Prabhupada was in Montreal, Canada, he saw the small upcoming young devotee boy Gopal Krishna at that time. Prabhupada saw him and Prabhupada was very pleased. He told the temple authorities, keep an eye on this boy, he's going to do great things. And whenever Prabhupada arrived at the temple, this student, Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, as a student, he would go to the temple and clean Prabhupada's room and make it ready for Prabhupada. He was a lover of Prabhupada. Because he loved Prabhupada, he gave his heart to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada chose him to be that most important individual who will take up the BBT, which was Prabhupada's heart. So Prabhupada gave his heart to him. He gave his heart to Prabhupada, Prabhupada gave his heart. And Prabhupada ordered him to print and publish and distribute books all over the world in very, very different, all the languages. And you can see what a miracle Maharaja did. I have seen Paramapuja Gopal Krishna Maharaj, always his greatest pride is whenever some book is released in Chinese language or some language, different language all across the world. That is his greatest joy. What was Prabhupada's joy exactly became Maharaja's joy also. Whenever the books came out of the press, Prabhupada would be very happy. He touched the book to the head. Similarly, Maharaj made his heart one with Srila Prabhupada's instructions. And Prabhupada told him that Delhi is a big city. We should make how many temples, Prabhupada said? 11 temples. Maharaj has made more than 14 now. So, in this way, he faithfully followed Prabhupada's instruction by distributing books, establishing temples, not only establishing deities, but personally worshipping the deities every morning, even if it becomes 12 o'clock at night, and inspiring the devotees in hundreds and thousands and millions to take to Krishna consciousness very seriously. As Srila Prabhupada would not only cultivate the common people, but he cultivated very rich people. Our Goswamis, like Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he cultivated one very rich Mansingh king, and he only built Radha Govind Mandir in Vrindavan for Rupa Goswami. So, which means our Goswamis were also cultivating big shots. And Prabhupada said to big shots in Bombay, if you will become a life member, I will come to your house. That was Prabhupada's condition. Many, many became life members. Similarly, Paramapuja Gopal Krishna Maharaj in Pune, I saw him, how he talks to very well-to-do people. We went to one home of one Mr. Jolly in Pune. So I went with Maharaj. So Maharaj asked Mr. Jolly, are you jolly? So he said, yes Maharaj, everything is going on well. My business is booming. He said, look at my daughters, I have set up a separate business for them. Hundreds and thousands of crores. Everything is booming, I am very happy. And Maharaj said, remember, you are flourishing in life because of Krishna's mercy. He said, yes Maharaj. He said, then he said, therefore you should do something for Krishna. So, his preaching is very powerful and he knows the exact nerve of all classes of business people. What to speak at what time. So in this way, you will see Srila Prabhupada had a desire that Vrindavan temple become a place of training and education of 500 students, he is saying, from all over the world. That was Prabhupada's desire. In this way, he wanted the preaching to happen and preaching should be expanded everywhere. So I personally got a lot of inspiration and guidance of Maharaj in Pune on how to deal with different types of people while raising the devotees. So one time I told Maharaj, we are bringing so many youngsters and they are all highly educated. And once they grow to some little height, they tend to become proud. And it is very difficult to keep them on track, and we don't want to lose them. At the same time, we don't want them to become proud and destroy themselves. So, should we empower them? If you empower them, they become proud. If you don't empower them, they will get inferiority complex. So, what is to be done? Then I asked him, what does Prabhupada do? So he said, Prabhupada in his times gave unlimited empowerment to innumerable number of devotees. Then I asked him, if that is so, then how did he keep the people under control? He said Prabhupada would chase after people and make sure that they produce results and they remain within the Lakshman Rekha of the moment, and if they would go out, he would get very strong on their case. So he gave also empowerment and he also demanded accountability. And Maharaj said, I do the same thing. He said, in this way, Maharaj has learned from the Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, how to expand the movement far and wide, at the same time keep people in track. And in order to do that, probably Gopal Krishna Maharaj is putting his sweat and toil, seeing his strenuous endeavor, late nights, giving every moment to people. We all got very, very inspired in Pune. So constant travel, Srila Prabhupada said, was becoming more and more inconvenient. One reason for his return to India, due to which he returned to India. But he was by no means stopping. Unless he travelled, his movement could not remain vital and healthy. So he was prepared, despite inconvenience, to continue touring. Disciples never stopped inviting him to travel. And recently Pushta Krishna Swami had asked him to come to South Africa. When Prabhupada agreed, Krishna had quickly arranged 10 festivals and other engagements in Durban and Johannesburg, covering a period of 3 weeks in October. Devotees on the predominantly Hindu island of Mauritius had also requested Prabhupada to visit, mentioning that the Prime Minister wanted to meet him. Prabhupada agreed, leaving Vrindavan, making brief stops in Delhi, Ahmedabad and Bombay. He was off to Africa. You see, this is a tug of war that goes on in the heart of every Vaishnava. Like Prahlad Maharaj is saying, Naivo Dvijay Paraduratya Vaitaranyas Tadviryagaya Namahamrita Magna Chittaha Shochetato Vimukachetasa Indriyartha Maya Sukhaya Bharamudvahato Vimudha. Oh my dear Lord, I am not afraid of this material existence. Naivo Dvijay Paraduratya Vaitaranyas, he said. Why? Tadviryagaya Namaha Amrita Magna Chittaha. When I hear your pastimes, they drown me in an ocean of bliss. So I have no worry remaining in this world. But I am only lamenting about these fools and rascals, he says about the demons and non-devotees. You know, they all are suffering due to their atheistic tendencies. When will I be able to get them back to your abode? Before I said, dispatch them all to your abode, I don't want to come. Like that he says in this verse. And then in another verse, he says just the opposite. Trastos megam kripana vatsaladus sahogra samsara chakra kadanagrasatam pranita baddhasva dharma virushattama tengri moolam prito pavarga sharanam vayase kadano. He is telling, my dear Lord, you are not only bhakta vatsala, you are also trastos megam kripana vatsala. You are also concerned about the kripanas, the non-devotee demons. So he is telling, trastos megam, I am very, very fearful of this world. Why? Yeah, am I fearful because of Janma Mrityu Chakra? No, I am not afraid of the old age, disease, death and all. Then what am I afraid of? Am I afraid of insults? Am I afraid of the discomforts? He says none of this. I am only afraid of association of the atheistic people who constantly criticize you. I am only afraid of that, he says. So he is saying, samsara chakra kadanat grasatam pranita, the living and beings are all devouring one another with exploitative tendency. And then Lord Vishnu may ask, who threw you here? Did I throw you? No, Nrsimha may ask. He says, Baddha swakarmavir, due to my own karma I am here, he says. And then he is asking, Pritopavarka sharanam vayase kadano. When will the time come, my Lord, please tell me, when I will return back to Vaikuntha? and stay at your feet and massage your lotus feet. So in one verse he is telling, when will I come back to your abode and massage your feet? Another verse he is telling, I don't want to come back. I want to preach and dispatch all living entities back to your abode. So this tug of war goes on in the heart of Vaishnava. The Vaishnava wants to preach compassionately, but then he realizes we want to study also. Therefore, Dharma Saradhaka Puri, Karaparopaka. In the early days of ISKCON, many devotees would run out to distribute books. Prabhupada would catch them and say, hey, you should not only distribute books, you have to study also. You tell them. So, in this way, Prabhupada once joked about devotees. He said, so he's giving books to somebody and then the person is asking, what is in these books? He would say, no, whatever is there is very nice, please read it. I don't know what is inside. So Prabhupada joked like that about the devotees. So we have to take care of ourselves by boiling the milk, and we also have to go out and distribute. Similarly, Acharya like Prabhupada, he didn't want to travel, he wanted to stay back in one place and write purports, commentaries. On the other hand, he also saw there's a need for him to travel around and give strength to the devotees. Because in the morning time, Prabhupada would give Bhagavatam class, and the daytime he would meet the managers, and after the massage and everything, in the evening time onwards he would go out for preaching. So morning for devotees, evening for new people, and the daytime for managers. So Prabhupada gave like that, and it was needed. He had to go around, travel around. Once Prabhupada said, I want to simultaneously preach everywhere. I want to preach in every place at all time, like that he said. So His Holiness Satsubdas Maharaj quoted this, and he asked a question: why does Prabhupada want to be in every place and want to preach everywhere at all times? Is it not a kind of greed? Will it not be considered passion? And then he says no. And the answer he gives is this: Krishna has posted himself in every atom as Antaryami Paramatma. Therefore the pure devotee feels it's important for him also to sit at the lotus feet of every Paramatma and preach about his glories. In this way, the pure devotee has a great craving to reach Krishna to as many people as possible. Therefore we say ISKCON's motto is, they made a song, more devotees, happy devotees, Lord Chaitanya wanted it, like that they had a song in Mayapur GBC meeting. They had a guitar also along there. And then they would say, not only Lord Chaitanya wanted it, Srila Prabhupada also wanted it, and we all also want it, he said. So more devotees means what? Please repeat, reach everyone, engage everyone. This is more devotees. And if you do that, when they are all engaged, they will scream. Then you have to make them happy devotees by caring for them. Otherwise, caring has no meaning. Only when people are working hard for the mission, when they struggle, then we can care for them. Otherwise, if you only care for people and missionary activities are not done, there is no expansion of the movement. So, in this way, what to speak of engaging others? Prabhupada engaged himself. So, we can see Paramapuja Gopal Krishna Maharaj, how many RadheYatras he attends every year, in how many places he has expanded preaching, and he personally visits and encourages and nourishes the devotees. So this is actually a very nature of the Vaishnava, to stretch oneself beyond one's bodily limits and be willing to forego all comforts and work hard. So by seeing them, we can feel sympathy for them, and at least we can make up our mind not to give them headache or trouble. We should not burden the shoulder of the spiritual master. Rather, we should shoulder the burden of spiritual master. Isn't it? Both of them appear similar. They are just the opposite. Burdening the shoulder means we sit on your shoulder and say, you take my weight also. Shouldering the burden means we take some of his weight and put it on our shoulder and say, please, you relax. So that's what every disciple is supposed to do. So I will conclude in 2 minutes, and then I'll take 5 minutes questions. I am supposed to end by 9:15. Yairi Drishi Bhagavato Gatiratmavada Ekantato Nigamavi Pratipaditana Tushyan Pada Prakarunaha Swadrudena Nityam O Nama Tatpati Karoti Vinoda Patram. This verse It's a very beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam in the Prithu and Kumara section. This glorification of any Guru or Acharya is given. Yairi Drishi Bhagavato Gatiratmavada. Oh my dear Acharya, you have faithfully adopted the Bhagavan's teachings in your life. Not only the theoretical teachings, but also you have adopted the practices like worshipping the deity, chanting the holy name, visiting all the holy places, and preaching all the Navavida Bhakti, everything. Ekantato nigamapi pratipaditanaha. In a very one-pointed way, you have adopted the spiritual practices in your life, and by doing so, you have developed a deep conviction in your heart. And with that conviction, we all have seen you practicing with great love, with great devotion, with great one-pointed determination. So after having seen that, we have become ready to give up our sinful activities. We have become to take the spiritual life more seriously. If your example would not be present in front of us, probably books would have been only bookish knowledge. But your living example, as we say in flesh and blood, in front of us, your love for Krishna, your conviction in the philosophy, and your determination to adopt all the practices, this has touched and transformed our hearts. So what we are practicing is only your grace. You see, Lord Chaitanya says, Lord Chaitanya's movement is such a wonderful movement. In the Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, they have two examples. There is Vadakalai and Tengalai, two groups. One group says, Lord is very merciful, like the cat is merciful to kitten. If the kitten says meow, then the cat will come and pick up. The another group says, no. Lord is very difficult to attain, he is far away. We are like a monkey's child, and you have to hold on to the monkey. When the monkey jumps from one tree to another, the child may fall off, and if he leaves the hand, Gaya Hatse. Now he will not be saved. That is another group. Two groups had a big argument, even now going on. But Lord Chaitanya took a midway. You know what he said? He said, these two are extremes. He said that our endeavor and Lord's mercy. The example is given. If somebody is inside a well and somebody throws a rope for you and you have to hold the rope. So holding the rope requires some amount of endeavor. And then the person will pull you out. Is it not true? But some of us may say, oh, even holding the rope is very painful. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, okay, I'll send a bucket down. Sit in the bucket. And I'll pull you up, isn't it? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very merciful. At least we should get up and sit inside the bucket at least. And what is that bucket? That bucket is ISKCON. So thanks to Parampujya Gopal Krishna Maharaj, who is we can boldly call him a Prabhupada's man. So this was my inspiration whenever I looked at him. I felt as if I am associating with Prabhupada. Whenever I met Maharaj and dealt with him, he exactly would follow Prabhupada's style of doing everything. So I am eternally indebted to him at his lotus feet. Like my spiritual master told me in 1997 when I became president of Pune, he told me that Parampujya Gopal Krishna Maharaj is my very senior god brother. And he told that two people Prabhupada greatly empowered in India. One was Parampujya Gopal Krishna Maharaj and one was Parampujya Jayapada Goswami Maharaj. He said these two are very, very senior people. He said in Prabhupada's absence, even we take guidance from them. We see them as our eldest god brothers. And Maharaj told me, if you please him, you will please me. So I hope Maharaj is pleased with me. Therefore, Pune is flourishing by his glance and by his mercy. And I am very thankful to all of you for accommodating me here today. And I am very eagerly awaiting to participate in the wonderful festival of glorification of Parampujya Gopal Krishna Maharaj. Thank you very much.